Hello and welcome to Grim Reactions. I'm Erik, and today we're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender episode 12. So apparently, the previous episode, episode 11, is the most hated episode in all of Avatar. That's the general opinion I felt I got from the comments, that like no one likes this episode. And I was wondering why no one liked it. I mean, it wasn't spectacular, but I didn't think it was very bad. And then someone mentioned in the comments that apparently when the show was airing, every week if you were excited for a new episode, but like if they didn't have a new episode to show, it wasn't ready yet for some reason, they would always run that episode, The Great Divide. So yeah, I can, in that scenario, I can really see growing to really, really hate that episode. Like, you're excited for a new episode, you waited all week, you sit down, gonna watch, and on comes this episode again and again and again. So yeah, I really understand that. That must have been really frustrating. But from my perspective, yeah, it wasn't great, but it was pretty good. It was decent, I thought. I'm sure I would have had a different opinion if I was forced to sit through it over and over and over, though. I mean, I liked some parts of it. Here's the thing that I have to... Well, I don't have to, but I choose to remind myself occasionally that this is not a show that was intended for young adults. It's not intended for, like, 16, 17, 18-year-olds who are learning more about the world. This was more intended for younger people than that. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't have a lot of value for everyone, because I think it does. I think it's a good show. I'm really enjoying it. But it was intended, when it was conceived, it was intended for younger people. And that means that on occasion you have to be really clear about what you mean. You have to really like beat someone over the head with your message, pretty much. And the message in the previous episode was a great message that kids need to hear and like take in. That talk to each other. Like, don't just be saddled with preconceived notions about what people are like because someone else told you what they're like. Like, find out for yourself, talk to people, and don't get stuck over perceived injustices from the past. Like, try to move past that. Like, I'm not gonna work with person B because he was mean to his grandparents were mean to my grandparents. That doesn't really have anything to do with the relationship between you and that person today. It can have affected, but it shouldn't have to affect it. Talk to people. Get to know them. Learn what they're like. Don't let prejudice rule your life. And that's a good message, and a message that is important to impart to young people before they become stupid. As in racist, for instance. Don't judge people based on preconceived notions. And also, like someone pointed out in the comments, that Aang solved the conflict. He did it by lying, and that's not great. But now we can get into like this whole like the ends justify the means kind of discussion, which I don't subscribe to whatsoever. Because if you go into the ends justify the means, then you can get into the whole like lesser evil and like choosing between two choices and you pick the lesser evil choice, and like evil is still evil, you know? Doing something wrong in order to at some point achieve something right is not a good way to move forward, because it will come back to bite you on the ass. Hopefully, those two tribes, if the truth comes out, by that point they will have learned enough about each other to overcome that challenge when it comes back up. Like, the better option would have been for them to both reconcile with the truth and get past it, you know? Aang instead chose to take the easy way out and just lie about what happened to get them cooperating. So yeah, hopefully when they find out if they find out that it was a lie, by that point they'll be good enough friends to get past it, or they'll be bitter enemies, like even worse than they were before. But who knows? So let's get into the next episode, shall we? If you want to support me or see Avatar in full unedited version, you can do so at my Patreon. Link for that is available in the description down below. On my Patreon you will also find like watch-alongs where you need to provide your own copy for the movie or show for all the other things I've done so far. So check that out if you want to. So with that said, let's jump into Avatar The Last Airbender episode 12. The storm. Here we go. Are we dreaming right now? Yeah, we're dreaming. That's a big ass Momo. Oh, yeah, storm indeed.
We need you, Aang.
Yes, heading all alone into the storm.
What's going on? Did we get captured again?
Oh, nice, Sokka. He wakes up instantly ready. like, what's going on? Are we attacked?
You guys want to hear about my dream? That's okay. I didn't want to talk about it anyway.
So Aang is feeling not a little, but a lot of pressure.
This was in my dream. We shouldn't go to the market.
What happened in your dream?
Food eats people. You said some very unkind things.
Okay.
Consider the safety of the crew.
The safety of the crew doesn't matter.
Be careful. You might have a mutiny on your hands before long, you know. I liked how Appa was parked.
Out there. Please, the fish can wait. There's going to be a terrible storm.
Then I'll find a new fish hauler and pay him double what you get. How you like that?
I'll go.
There we go. Problem solved.
And he's paying double.
Double? Who told you that nonsense?
Well, look at that.
Huh. Looks like your uncle was right about the storm after.
Yeah, looks like he knows exactly what he's talking about.
What do you know about respect?
Oh boy.
What should I expect from a spoiled prince?
Ooh, that's taking it too far.
Airbender tattoos. Well, I'll be a hog monkey's uncle. You're the Avatar, ain't you? You turned your back on the world.
It's not his fault he disappeared, right, Aang? Aang, what's wrong?
Aww.
Your friends ain't too polite, are they?
Well, neither are you. Aww. Where did you leave Appa? Come on now.
What do you mean? I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, was that why he was frozen, maybe? Because he ran away because he wanted to have fun and not have responsibilities. Oh, there he is.
Man, that's hard.
Where'd you learn that trick, Aang? I made it up. Wow!
Oh,
Come with us. We need to speak with you.
why is he the only one with tattoos? Are the other kids not old enough to have tattoos?
The toys you picked were the 4 Avatar relics.
Oh.
These items belong to Avatar's past.
So the turtle for a water tribe?
Normally, we would have told you of your identity when you turned 16. Storm clouds are gathering.
Ah. Yes, a metaphorical storm.
My nephew is a complicated young man. He has been through much.
Oh, are we gonna see how he got the scar?
If I'm gonna rule this nation one day, don't you think I need to start learning as much as I can?
Oh, look at him all smiling and happy.
These old folks are a bit sensitive, you know.
Thank you, Uncle.
Oh, look at him all optimistic. Now he's just constantly scowling. Constantly pissed.
New recruits. How do you expect them to defeat a powerful Earth Kingdom battalion?
He's not.
I don't. What better to use as bait than fresh meat?
Oh, that's cold.
Those soldiers love and defend our nation. How can you betray them?
And there were dire consequences.
Oh yeah? What were those?
Why wouldn't you be excited about it? Well,
Because it's a lot of responsibility, Katara.
Now that you're the Avatar, it's kind of an unfair advantage for whichever team you're on.
but I'm still the same.
Oh, he started getting excluded.
Okay, now who wants to have Jinju on their team?
Oh, come on. At least he's being included.
Hey.
Oh, Gyatso, such a prankster.
The Avatar should be training.
Oh, shush.
I will decide when he trains and when he gets his butt kicked at Pai Show.
Is that the same game that Iroh was playing?
There was only one way to resolve this.
Agni Kai. A fire duel.
That's right. He was surprised to see it was not the general. Zuko would have to duel his own father.
Yes. I like that these stories are being told in parallel.
All I want is what is best for him.
But what we need is what's best for the world.
Yes, and what's best for Aang is what's best for the world.
The Avatar
Oh.
will be sent away to the Eastern Air Temple to complete his training.
No, don't do that. Oh, that's so stupid. Because what kind of avatar would he be if he's... I mean, he needs to grow up well.
You have a right to be angry after the monks sent you away like that. Well, that's not exactly...
Oh, that's when he ran away. And then he got stuck in the ice because he fell in the water.
Aang, I'm not going to let them...
Oh, so he abdicated his responsibility. Which is understandable because he's a kid. Children are not equipped to deal with responsibility at that age.
Next thing I knew, I was waking up in your arms after you found me in the iceberg.
Oh, this is interesting. We need to talk about this after.
People needed me and I wasn't there to help. You don't know what would have... The world needed me and I wasn't there to help.
Hey,
Oh, it's even bigger.
if you had stayed, you would have been killed along with all the other airbenders.
You don't know that.
But if you look at it a different way, if he had been killed with all the other airbenders, then a new avatar would have appeared. And there wouldn't have been a world without an avatar for 100 years.
Fight for your honor.
I meant you no disrespect. I am your loyal son.
No, but this is disrespectful.
You will learn respect, and suffering will be your teacher.
That's a bit harsh, though.
That Prince Zuko was in a training accident.
I mean,
It was no accident.
winning. We saw Zuko win an Agni Kai, and he didn't kill or hurt or his opponent.
It's the only chance he has of things returning to normal.
It will never be normal.
return to
Yeah,
normal.
thank you, Iroh. Oh. Yes, that's the Zuko we know.
They're caught out at sea.
I'm going to find them.
I'm going with you.
I'm
No, you're
staying
not.
here.
Nicely done, lady.
The helmsman!
Oh, and Zuko is the first to rush to save him. Whoa, what the hell? Iroh redirected lightning, yo. Haha. Oh, it's another stormy seas, and this time he overcame.
What do you want to do, sir?
Let him go.
Into the eye of the storm.
Oh, Iroh approves.
I'm too young to die.
I'm not, but I still don't wanna.
Oh, brilliant. Impressive! He's getting better at waterbending. Oh, fudge. Holy moly, that's a big wave. Same thing again. But this time it's different because he has people he has to save. Avatar mode activate. Oh, that is so meaningful. That they share that. They are two sides to a coin.
I'm here now and I'm going to make the most of it.
It's good for you. So that was episode 12. That was a really, really good episode. I really, really enjoyed that. First of all, I have a problem with the other monks at the Air Temple, besides Gyatso. Because, if you rush, if you try to, yes, being the Avatar is a huge responsibility. If you try to rush and push that responsibility on a young boy who's like 10, right? Then that's not going to go very well, because people that young are not ready to accept responsibility. They're ready to accept some responsibility, but not responsibility on that level. And if you try to force it, then they're going to rebel. If you try to force it, you're going to get a bad result anyway. I more believe on, if you're going to do something, do it right. And making sure that he has a balanced upbringing, a good childhood, must be worth more than trying to force him into being something that he's not ready to be. That's going to reflect poorly on the rest of his life. But if you ensure he has a good upbringing, that will reflect well on the rest of his life. Because he needs to be the Avatar for the rest of his life, not like right now, this instant, you know? And yeah, so I mean, we can just look at what happened to know what happens when you try to rush it. They tried to force the responsibility on him too soon, and he ran away. He rebelled. He ran away, and then he got stuck, and now we're here, you know? And then Aang talks about being at the Air Temple when the Fire Nation attacked. I like saying that. Yes, he should have been at the Air Temple, because then the Fire Nation attacked and everything changed. But I mean, if he had been, what would that have meant? I mean, he's not. Yes, he's the Avatar, but he's still not he hasn't completed his training as an airbender. So, I mean, you could argue that if he had been at the Air Temple and died, then there would have been another Avatar, a different Avatar. Because I'm assuming that the Avatar is not like, it's one in a generation. It's not something you pass on. It's not something you choose to pass on to someone. It's something that just like, there's one every generation, and if he dies, then another one will be born somewhere. It's like the Dalai Lama. But at the same time, that's a callous way of looking at it. And I like the fact that we have Aang at the moment. And here's another thing that I just thought of. Because this whole story around this is that Aang has to train to become the avatar, a fully realized avatar, because only a fully realized avatar with access to all the powers he needs will be able to defeat now his name escapes me, but the Fire Lord. I just keep thinking of Sozin, but that's the old Fire Lord. But that means that when they attacked the air temple, that was with the power of Sozin's comet. That was Fire Lord Sozin who did that. And Aang was at that point not a fully realized avatar, so he wouldn't have been able to do anything at that point. Which means, I guess, in some way that this is destiny. Like, this is what was supposed to happen. At least this time, yes, he has like 9 months, but at least this time he has a chance to learn the other bending disciplines, and maybe he can put up a fight this time, you know? But at the same time, like, it's good that Aang is an air nomad, because the air nomads, like, seem, like I said in the first episode, air seems flighty, air seems to be very, I don't want to say lackadaisical, but like, or aimless either, that's not it, but like, the air nomads, by virtue of being nomads, seem to more take things as they come, you know. Because being the avatar must be like one hell of a weight to carry, which is what this episode was like all about. He feels the weight of his office, of his responsibility, like imagine you're 10 years old and it's your responsibility to save the world. Like, that is heavy shit. And I don't think this is the last we're gonna see of Aang despairing, you know? I think there's gonna be more of that. Because it's such a massive task. Again, I really appreciate Sokka. He's being waken up from like deep sleep and like he's ready to freaking go. Like, what's going on? I really like Sokka. I think he's my favorite character. He's really good. I love that dude. And then, because like I said, I really, really appreciate the way they told this story. That it was like 50-50. It was flipped between Aang and Zuko. That, to me, says that Zuko is going to be a huge part of this story. Maybe I'm misreading that. I don't know, maybe it was just for this episode. But because what it implies to me is that he, unlike Katara and Sokka, he got 50-50 with Aang. Yeah, that tells me that he is as important as Aang. And I don't know if that's right, if I'm right about that, or if I'm wrong. But I'm definitely very intrigued by the possibilities, you know? I also really like how already it seems like we're seeing Zuko becoming tempered a bit by this quest. Because at the start of this, I doubt he would have acted the way he did in the storm. Maybe he would have. I don't know. But I don't think so. He's already learned a bit of patience, you know? Like, if you're going to do something, do it right the first time, so you don't have to redo it. So don't push it. Let it take the time that it needs to take. Which is something I believe in very much. Like, there's no reason to be stressing out about things. Do it as fast as you can, but don't cut corners. Do your best, and as long as you do your best, don't feel guilty about not being able to do more. Because you're doing everything you can. So if that means that you have to take a detour, or if that means that you have to slow down a little because you're trying to do things faster than they are willing to be done, you're trying to rush, then feel free to slow down, because otherwise you're just gonna have to redo the thing that you rushed trying to do. And it's just gonna end up taking longer in the end. That doesn't mean that you should go slow, but it means that you should give it your best effort, your 100%, but don't feel guilty that you can't give like more than 100%, because that's impossible. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that episode. And then at the end, when they shared a look, as in maybe that signifies like closing the book on this chapter, as in this episode, like that the story is like that the story is, this was not a paradigm shift in the story. Maybe that's what that means, that they shared a look there. Or maybe it just means that what I said, that they are two sides to the same coin, and that there are going to be the two main drivers of the story. Like, as in Zuko is more important than Katara or Sokka. Maybe that's what that means. I don't know. But yeah, this was a really, really good episode. Was this the best episode yet? Maybe. At the moment, I can't think of one that was better. Yeah, I can't think of any episode that was better than this. But at the same time, like, I've been recently listening to some Eminem, which is unusual for me, because I usually listen to experimental metal. But there's like, someone has been quoted as, I don't know who said it originally, but people have, like, someone has been quoted as saying that Eminem, maybe like Eminem isn't the best, but there's no one better than Eminem. You know? And maybe it's the same kind of deal. But I really, really enjoyed this episode. It was really, really good. So, let's see where we go next. And with that said, I am done. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Grim Reactions. I've been Erik, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.